Welcome back, everybody. Today we'll be doing the rankings for your running backs in fantasy football this year. So we have another tier list made. I'll be going through and pre-setting up certain tiers, and then we'll be going off of there and explaining why they're there. So let's get into it. 6 running backs. These are the top 6 running backs actually in order from last season. Obviously, none of them took one to replace them. Now, I know Josh Jacobs is at Raiders uniform. He's on the Packers. I grabbed an old tier list to try and get most of the starters back. Save myself some time. But let's be fair. None of these are going to change. Jahmyr Gibbs is still going to be the one over Montgomery in Detroit. I only worry because, again, you got rid of your star center. How productive is this run going to be? But they also throw a lot of balls to him, so I can't say no to him. Same thing with Bijan. Henry is Henry. I still foresee him being okay. Again, question his age and getting older and get the wear and tear. But he shows he can handle it, so I'm not super worried there. Achane, same thing. As long as they have a healthy quarterback, and I think Ewers is a backup, we'll still let him succeed if for some reason if Tua goes out. So I'm not worried about it there. And then Barkley, yes, he's dealing with the Madden curse, the Offensive Player of the Year curse. But if you tell me otherwise, I'm still going to look to take him if he either drops a few to you or if you decide, hey, he's the one I want. By all means, take him. Not going to bat an eye. Not going to say, oh, that was a terrible pick. It's still a smart pick, let's be fair. They throw him the ball. He runs the ball. He's absolute workhorse. He looked a lot better behind the Eagles' offensive line than he did the Giants, so it's absolutely worth it. Start. It's fairly simple in terms of the thought process. None of their offense has really changed at the running back position, except I think Mixon, they picked up a second running back, but I'm not worried about him. Brown's still the primary. Conner's still the primary. James Cook, if he plays, is there. He's still sitting out, so I question him. Kamara, of course, is still going to be the one. The question is going to be how much more are they going to lean on him because of the inability to throw the football at the moment. And then Kyren Williams is going to be Kyren Williams, who's going to get everything and be an absolute workhorse. I'm honestly not surprised he's not higher, but he wasn't super high in the fantasy points last year, so that's the only reason he's lower. So I'm not super worried about any of these guys. I'd be okay with having them as my one. But I'd definitely be looking to take another one of them or somebody just below them, if that's the case. Simple ideas here. Bucky Irving, Breece Hall, Brian Robinson, DeAndre Swift, Isaiah Pacheco, Kenneth Walker, David Montgomery, Jonathan Taylor. I mean, pretty simple. Taylor, still a star running back, still the man in the Colts. I see them still using him heavily. Montgomery is still a split person, so yes, is he a committee? But they give enough production to the running backs, or at least they did. That makes me think he's still there. I don't want to put him in scary and committees just because he was super productive last year. But there are some hesitations to him. But again, should be okay to be a starter for you if you want to put him there. It's like your 2. Kenneth Walker, obviously going to still, no situation really changed except they improved the quarterback situation for him. Pacheco, provided he's still healthy to go, should be a great start. I don't see why you shouldn't play him. DeAndre Swift, I like him a lot more now that he has an offensive line to run behind. I think there's going to be some high production there. Breece Hall, again, same thing, looks fantastic. A little more of a running quarterback, so they might be able to run some more option plays with him, which I think will open up him 2 more runs. Brian Robinson, nothing changed. You improved the O-line, which means his running effective should be better, which is great. And then Bucky Irving, again, you didn't change anything in the offensive line. He's still probably your primary guy. I see no problem in saying, yep, you should start McCaffrey, RJ Harvey, and Genty, because obviously Genty's going to be the one in Oakland. I was going to put him in how much will they actually get, but I wasn't sure just because, he is the star running back. Pete Carroll loves to run the football, so I think they're going to do him a lot. RJ Harvey is the only running back in Denver, so obviously he's going to be the one to get the carries, so I have no problem saying that. In McCaffrey, provided he's healthy, he will be higher. But because he was hurt, you might be able to get him in the 3rd or 4th round. Let's start off with the obvious ones. Najee Harris and Omarion Hampton, they are both going to be sharing carries probably in the Chargers offense. I don't know who's going to start. I really don't. I was so high on him until they drafted him. So that kind of ruined that. Again, same thing with Jaylen Warren. I'm assuming Caleb Johnson's going to be the guy. I presume he's going to get the bulk of all the carries. The question is going to be how much work does Jaylen Warren take away? Again, same thing in Carolina. These 2 were both great last year. They were both great again this year. I just question who's going to be able to produce the most out of any of this. Blake Corum, Rachaad White. Rachaad White was actually really good last year, but a lot of people like Bucky Irving, so I don't know how much work he's going to get. And Blake Corum's the same way. You're behind Kyren Williams, who's all the way up here. I don't see you getting a lot of carries, but you're in a scary committee because you can take away a lot of the prominent stuff from those guys in positions when they need to win. Let's obviously go to the next one here of the Patriots running game. Ramondre Stevenson and give me a second here. I forgot his name already. Where's he out of my list? Trayvon Henderson. That was who it was. I forgot it was. Again, Ramondre Stevenson was pretty good last year. He would have been an okay to start person. But now with him being there, if Ramondre Stevenson starts off like he did last year with 6 weeks and 6 fumbles, I see Henderson taking all of those away from him. Absolutely. Next one on here is Cam Skattebo and Tracy. Now, obviously, Devin Singletary might be in that mix as well, but I'm going to consider these the 1 and 2 in my opinion. And the question is going to be, who is actually the one here? People were very fond of him last year, but people were very fond of him this year. So who actually will be getting this ball? Bigsby, ETN, same idea. Was the one. Took away a little bit of the carries, but who's actually getting the football in this offense? Obviously, if these two actually play, they were absolutely boring as all can be. And then just below them, if I scroll down a little bit, is the people who are actually wonder what work they're going to get. And the reason I say that is, when you look at this, we're going to start on the right. Miles Sanders is backing up in Dallas behind Javonte Williams. So it's one of those two. Both of them could be listed as boring. I don't see them being very explosive, and I don't see a finger thing. Again, back up. I don't know what his situation is. If I'm correct, he's not signed to anybody, but he was great. He looked better when he came back, but he's not what he was. So if he plays on a team, I don't know what his numbers are going to be. Again, Trey Benson back up to Connor, but not in the scary by committee because he just hasn't had enough time to shine to be in scary by committee. And then we have the Browns running back of Quentin Judkins. I don't know how much carries they're going to give him. I don't want to say scary by committee because of Ford. I don't want to put Ford on this list because obviously I think they're going to give him the ball. I just can't tell you where he's going to pull in terms of this offense. Most because I don't know who the quarterback is, because that would be a large tell as well. And then Tony Pollard's only down here because I'm not sure how much. Like, obviously, the Titans are going to have to run the ball, but how much opportunity they're going to have to run the ball? Like, Carroll is going to find ways to give him the ball. Whereas, like, with the Titans, they might be losing by so much, they can't give him the ball. If that makes sense. I don't know if Pollard's going to be able to get the ball. Because, like, Genty's in a position where he will get it, for sure. No questions about it. I don't know if Pollard's going to get the ball. So, quick little recap for the list here. These are the people to note. I'm going to do this really fast for everybody. Here are your people to note here. If you got a chance, go get them. Reach if you have to. These ones, you want to reach, you can. I'm not going to say you should, but they'll definitely be a solid start for you. You will have a solid running back 1. If you can end up with 2 of these and 1 of these, you're in great shape for your running backs. If you can end up with 1 of those, 1 of those, and 1 of those, or 1 of those, 2 of those, you're in great shape. Look to make moves with these people. Make these people part of package trades as you go along once you get in there, because currently, the way it looks like, they will be great trade bait to someone who has the other one, especially if Caleb Johnson, Najee Harris, Ramondre Stevenson, Jonathan Brooks all decide to just pop off. And then start to get banged up because those other people, you either can stash them and then you look fantastic, or you can trade them and you look great. Either way. Other people down here, I don't trust them being in my starting lineup. I don't. Same thing here. I could say Quentin Judkins could be in my starting lineup. I could say Pollard could be in your starting lineup, but the rest of them, I wouldn't bother with it. There's too much risk in saying that to be able to say any of those ones. But there's your rankings for, I guess, your S through D tier of who will be a good fantasy running back this year. We'll be going on to the wide receivers next, and then after that we have tight ends. I'm not touching kickers, defense, or flex because those are all just a complete mess, especially flex, because then I would have to take into account everyone I already did and then rank them in a flex thing, which is just somewhat unrealistic. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a go.